There he is.
Still haven't figured it out.
Who are we missing? We've got Commissioner Logan, Commissioner Lillard not on here. Who else?
How about Dacus? Is Dacus on?
Yes.
Yeah, he's on here. Chuck's on.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Hello, Chuck.
Hey, Willie, how you doing?
Good.
David Lillard won't be here, Mayor, and I don't think Sylvester's going to be here.
Well, you want to go ahead and get started, Mayor? Call the roll. Mayor?
Right, bye. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
You want to go ahead and start?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead. Let's.
All right, let's call the roll. Commissioner Rice,
Here.
Commissioner Lillard is not on. Is that correct?
He's not going to be here, Willie.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Steve Reeves,
He's here.
Commissioner Logan,
Don't
Not
think he's
here.
going to be here.
Commissioner Dacus,
Here.
Commissioner Farley,
Here, sir.
Commissioner Ray Seals,
Here.
Commissioner Oglesby,
Here.
and German. Okay, Mayor, let's like the first item is we're going to have a representative talk about employee health insurance.
Yes, sir. I've got Mr. Wes Dozier here with 5 Points Insurance. They have been working with us on our health insurance for the last 5-6 years anyway. They've brought us in vision and dental, as well as some other services that help with the HR portion. They've also shopped out our insurance, and reason we've stayed with the state so long is because they've done some analysis through the years as to where we are. We've looked at another company this year in addition to them for a plan, but the 5 Points plan is definitely heads above what we were looking at. And since they're our broker, what I asked him to do was come to y'all tonight to show a plan that could save all the county money actually, and also save the employees' dollars also in their premiums, and provide us a product that's very similar to what we've got now. I've told him in about 10 or 15 minutes, and he assured me he could get this across. What we need to do tonight is ask whatever questions. I'm going to have some employee meetings in the next couple of days with the supervisors and any particular employees who want to listen to it. And hopefully this presentation tonight, if it's succinct enough, I'll cut it off and send it an email so folks can watch it. But basically what we need to do is enact whatever we're going to do this month so that we can notify the states of our intentions and also sign everybody up in a timely manner moving forward. So with that being said, I want to introduce Mr. Wes Dozier with 5 Points.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. Now, if I go over 10 minutes, you guys just start waving your hands and start hollering at me. So I will go over this, like Mayor Taylor said. I really want to, to answer any questions as well. We picked the highlights, but as you guys know, there's a lot of ins and outs of insurance. So I'm gonna, I need to be able to share my screen. I don't know if you can enable that for me. If not, then I can just speak to it. Is that something that you're able to enable for me?
Give me just a second. I think I can, but give me just a little bit different. Host, here we go. There you go. That should let you share your screen. You're a host now.
All right. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll hop right in. as Mayor Taylor said, we have helped do some analysis on the health plan for the past several years by looking at your rates, looking at different factors, the affordability of HCA. But this year, we went out to the market as an independent broker, and we shopped multiple different health insurance plans with multiple different companies. We looked at supplemental gap insurance plans that go along with health insurance. We also looked at tax advantage plans such as HRA plans and HSA plans, and we looked at the state health insurance. So we looked at all the options that are out there. We compared all those options, and we did an analysis of how can we help save the employees and their families money. How can we save the county money? But how can we do that and still give good benefits? So the net result of that this year was the best plan option out there is a private Blue Cross and Blue Shield plan paired with a pre-med defender gap insurance. The reason that it is the recommendation and the lowest is because it's the lowest monthly cost to the employees. It's the lowest out-of-pocket cost for the employees and the family. It's the lowest cost for the county budget, and it's less administrative overhead and improved service through some of the other things that we already do. Concerning the budget itself, this slide shows you the three different main things that we boiled it down to. The top one here that says 2020 state plan, that is your current health insurance budget. So that's the total plan spend broken down by employee, employer, and over here it shows you the employer budget over on the right hand side, which is currently at $1.372 million. The middle line is the 2021 state health plan, and this is due to an increase at the state this year. This is what your health insurance budget would have been. So renewal with the state would go from your current 1.372 up to $1.447 million. The Blue Cross plus the pre-med defender gap insurance is a spend of employer budget spend of $1.196 million. So as you can see here, the estimated employer savings of the current plan, so the plan that you have today versus the pre-med defender, is $176,000 in savings. If you compare it to what the renewal cost would have been for your current plan versus the pre-med defender, then we're looking at a savings of $250,000 there. This is a cost comparison chart that we'd like to show. It's the 5-year cost comparison. When you're looking at medical trends, we used a 6.5% average increase, year over year, and we compared what your renewal would have been. There's that 1.447 million again versus the 1.196 million. So there's that $250,000 savings that we were talking about. You've also see how that plays out. Sorry about that. You also see how that plays out year over year, 2019, 20, 21. And over a 5-year period, you're looking at an estimated cumulative savings there of $1.4 million to the county. As far as the plan comparison goes, these first two columns that have the state plan premier in the first column and then the state plan limited, those are the two plans that your employees are participating in today, the majority of them on this first one, the premier plan. And I know there's a lot of numbers on this slide, but there's really two big things I want to focus on for the purpose of the presentation. Is you'll notice that the premier plan has a $500 deductible. Our plan has also a $500 deductible. The limited plan has the $1,800 deductible. Our pre-med defender, plus the Blue Cross and Blue Shield gap insurance, it matches the deductible. Where this plan really shines is on the out-of-pocket maximum. If you'll see down at the bottom of the first section, the out-of-pocket maximum is the max that an employee will have to pay for insurance claims. And you'll see here that the out-of-pocket maximums on the Blue Cross and Blue Shield plus pre-med defender plans are significantly lower than the out-of-pocket cost on the current plans. So an example there is the employee out-of-pocket maximum on the Premier plan is $3,600. The plan that would be replacing that has an out-of-pocket of $1,500 versus $3,600. And then when you look at family coverage, the out-of-pocket maximum is $9,000 versus $3,000 with the private plan. This is the rate chart. So this shows right here the breakdown between what the employer pays for each of the plan options, what the employee pays, and then what the total premium is over here. So it just shows how it's broken up, and then the total. There's the availability of the S network with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, which is one of the same networks that you have access to now. And there's also a network P, which is a network that costs a little bit more, but it's a little bit more expansive. But what we find is the overwhelming majority of people that the S network works just fine for them. As far as the employee monthly savings goes, again, we compared what the current cost would be if you renewed with your plan versus what the new cost would be. And you can see here for everything except for the employee only that it's considerably cheaper. You're looking at a savings of employee children of $960 a year, employee spouse of about $2,400 a year, and family coverage around $1,100 per year. The limited plan down here, again, there's you can't get any cheaper than zero. So that's the same, but you see there that employee children and employee spouse, they also have a pretty significant savings as well. And then because this middle plan here, the $1,800 deductible plan, the out-of-pocket maximum on this plan is actually even lower than the state Premier plan. So if you're going back to this slide right here, you see the out-of-pocket maximum on the Premier plan is $3,600 for the individual. Even on the Pre-Med Defender and Blue Cross and Blue Shield, it's a $3,275. So employees are going to have an option that if they wanted to go to this middle tier plan, then this shows the savings there between the two options. So family coverage was one of our goals, to make family coverage more affordable. So we have an $866 premium versus the $1,100, which is what the current renewal would have been. So you can see there that there's $2,600, $2,700 in savings potential there as well. And then here is again the P network. There's the difference between the P network and the Premier plan and the private plan options. So I know that's a high level. I think I kept it right at 10 minutes. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Anybody have a stopwatch on me?
Anybody have any question? Would the employees most of the time have their same doctors, or would that be a lot of difference on that?
Blue Cross and Blue Shield, I mean, everybody knows Blue Cross. There's a mix of people on Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Cigna. and there may be a little bit of more research they have to do during a transition year like this. The only major doctor or hospital system that's not in the S network is Methodist, but the P network, that there's the option for, if people have to have Methodist in, they can choose the P network as well. But most of the doctors in the Memphis area, regardless of what they're associated with, they have privileges at Baptist and Methodist. So get control back to Skip. So they have admitting privileges at both hospitals.
Mayor, have we always been with the state or have we gone private before?
We've been with the state for as long as I've been here. I think there was a point in time where before the state got involved, we were out shopping a little bit. The state's been very consistent. They've got a good plan, but it's a little bit rich, a little bit pricey. That's the reason we're looking at trying to duplicate it outside in the network. Now, I do want to make sure that everybody understands the states will have to stay off the state plan for 2 years, 24 months. What my intention is that whatever savings we get off of this, that we sort of put in reserve account, because we'll have to, next year will be another year. And depending on the premium, I expect premiums to be, rise an appropriate amount like everybody else's does. But for some reason they jump a lot, particularly compared to the state plan, I want to have a reserve so we can offset those costs. But what we've got here is similar to a plan that we had with employees about 3 or 4 years ago. And essentially what happened, we were taking dollars from the state because we put together essentially a high deductible with a insurance called a gap plan.
That's right.
That took care of some of that middle cost. Employees, once they got used to it, it worked fine. And the doctors apparently were aware of what was going on, so they worked well with it. And this is very similar to that. And we get the savings and get some dollars back in the employees' pockets.
Well, it looks, looking at it at 30,000 feet, it looks really good. I would like our employees, to be able to look at it and kind of get some feedback. But what you said, we got to do something this month.
We've got to do something this month simply because October is the month when we normally, when everybody starts signing up, we give the state the notice. I think we've got to give them 60 days. And so we got maybe a little bit of time, but my intention is for the next couple of days, get Wes and his group to give some presentations. At least one's going to be in person and at least one Zoom. And if we have to do more Zoom, we can, just so that everybody can ask questions. There'll be, as everybody's aware, there'll probably be some folks that are really up on insurance because they have to use it. Most folks, as long as it's a solid plan and they've got a doctor or a hospital that they like going to and that they can get to, they'll be fine with it.
Mr. Ray Seals, did you raise your hand? And you are muted.
Yes, sir. I didn't hear about the hospitals. Does this cover Methodist and Baptist or one or the other?
So employees will have the option to choose a network that covers the hospital of their choices. So the two different network that are available, if somebody wants the Methodist, then they'll have the option to choose a network with Methodist. Or if they want St. Francis and Baptist, they'll have an opportunity to choose St. Francis or Baptist as well.
Okay, thank you.
The base plan is going to be St. Francis and Baptist. If you want to upgrade to Methodist, this costs a little bit more per month.
All right, can I hear some more opinions from the other members of the budget committee, please?
This is Dacus. Mayor Taylor could probably answer this question, but that last GAP program that we had, I can't remember it. It was 2 or 3 years ago. Why did it end? Was it a volunteer program or what? Mayor Taylor?
Unmuted here. Here we go. I'm trying to get unmuted. What happened was that it took the state's cheapest plan, which was a high deductible. It had the same benefits as all the other plans. It was just high deductible and a cheaper premium. So we came in, and Wes and them, the one who put it together, came in with a gap insurance plan that was cheaper than the savings than the state. So basically, we could put together the same coverage as a higher plan, which shifted, according to the state, a lot of folks from their expensive plans that they were collecting premiums on to the cheaper plan, but they weren't selling the gap insurance. So long story short, they outlawed it on their plan. So that's the reason we're not on it now, because the state won't allow us to be on their plan with the gap insurance.
But the gap was separate from the state.
Yes, sir.
If we do we have to vote to do this, or do we allow the employees to decide it themselves?
This will be offered by the county, and because we are with the state and with a big deal like that, I need county commission approval to do that.
But what Commissioner Dacus is asking, is it time to get an opinion from the employees before we just tell them how we're going to vote, what the question is?
I think it'd be a good idea that the employees have a look at this, and that's what my intention is for the next couple, 3 days. It's a short timeline. I don't disagree with that. If we don't do it by next week, we may need to schedule a called meeting so that we don't miss deadlines, and so that the employees employees get signed up in a timely fashion, so they don't have a lapse in coverage. Wes can probably address that as far as timing better than I can.
Can you take that screen down where we can see the active speaker?
This is Dacus again. It looks like a really good program, and I think we should give the employees the option to look at it.
I do too.
If we, whatever we need to do that.
Is that possible, Mr. Dozier?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking Sept. I apologize. Absolutely. I've already got a couple of meetings like we talked about this week to do one Zoom on Thursday. I've got another one scheduled on Friday. And then I'll do whatever you guys need us to do. The state health insurance open enrollment does start at the beginning of October. So typically this is the time frame, when you see people vote. But again, I'll kind of defer back to you guys. My main job is, to shop the plans and find the best insurance at the best cost. And I have all the confidence that we've done that. I have all the confidence that the employees will like the plan and benefit from it, both from a monthly standpoint and an out-of-pocket standpoint. But if we need to talk to a few more of them, I do think you guys will find that they're going to be big fans of it.
Thank you. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Is that doable before next Tuesday to get an idea whether they're interested or?
I'm going to do my best to do it, and we'll see what the 2 meetings provide, at least 2 meetings. And if we have to bring in, I think I can probably talk Wes into coming in Monday with a Zoom or something like that if they need to, so folks can listen, think it over the weekend, and if they need to come back and ask other questions, and then make sure that they've got concerns they can get with the appropriate, their county commissioner and express it. And Wes, you can be there next Tuesday to answer any questions prior to this, I'm sure. At our meeting, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. I think I'm hearing from the committee that we just going to allow the employees to look at it. And if there's any voting that we do, it'll be next Tuesday at the full commission meeting. Is that okay, Mayor?
That'll be fine. Yes, sir.
Is that okay, committee?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Thank you much. All right. We're going to move on. Item 2, building architect contract, Fleming Architects discussion. Looks like development committee saw this first. Commissioner Farley.
We'll go ahead and let the mayor present it and describe it. He can do it better than I can. So go ahead, Mayor.
Okay, as y'all are aware, we've got two buildings that we've sort of inherited from the school board. One's old school board office building, that's where my office will hopefully eventually wind up, in addition to archives on the other side. And then we have old Somerville Elementary. Fleming and Associates worked with the school board on a number of issues, particularly while they were building the schools, and did a lot of work on it. I've talked to Miss Ellen Watley, who's worked with them, and we worked a little bit on looking at what needs to be done at the old school board office building so that we can move over there. And she's given us some contracts, some estimates on what it would take to look at Summer Elementary. What you've got in your packet are two proposals, one for Summer Elementary, one for the board office. We were talking, I think she and I bounced back some emails over the last day or so, so there's still probably some tweaking to do on a couple of contracts, but essentially what it is on the school board office building. It would be help do the design work, the survey work, and also work as the construction liaison to open bids or whatnot when we go to actually build out whatever we decide we need to do. On the Summer Elementary, it's more planning. It's trying to get an idea of a cost of what our options are. The two contracts, that's of course the cheaper one. The other one, I believe, has a close to $50,000 fee in it. That's a lump sum, but it takes us from can to can't. And it may be spread over 2 years based on the way that I sort of foresee it happening. But those are some issues that she and I probably need to sort of talk about. What I would like to do is go ahead and move forward, at least until I get a little bit more information, move this on to commission so that if, so we can get started at least on the school board office building in some aspect. I've had a couple of conversations with some folks on Summer Elementary. Don't know how much meat's on that, but depending on what I get back in the next week or so, it will give me an idea as to what I can tell y'all as far as some outside interest on that building. But if we don't have some more interest on that building, we do need to do something with it because essentially it's just sitting there more or less falling down unless we can figure out somebody to give it to, sell it to, or use it.
What kind of motion you looking for from this committee?
I need a motion to approve both contracts as they stand moving forward. And tell you what, I need a contract, a motion moving forward on the old school board office building. Let me hold off on Somerville Elementary at this time until I get some more information back on the folks who are talking about that. That may become a moot issue if they decide to actually do something. And then by the time we're at the county commission meeting next week, if there's any changes, some fine tuning on that contract, I can bring that to you then.
I so move.
All right. The motion by Commissioner Oglesby that we move forward with this. Need a second.
Second.
Commissioner Reed?
Yep.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Are there other questions?
Just one short comment, sir.
Sure.
At the committee meeting, there was a committee member that brought up a question about their architect firm they were using and was wondering if they could change. They said they could easily change it. So that's the only question that came up at our committee meeting.
Yeah. Miss Ellen Watley's on tonight. I see that she's down attending and she might be able to address that.
Yes.
She's with
I received a cost just to give you a whole picture of how much the cost would be for architectural and engineering fees and civil. I received a separate fee for civil engineering. I heard some comments last night that preference to open that up to other civil engineers. So I will get another proposal for y'all for a survey work in civil engineering. That's no problem.
Other questions?
I feel like we can go ahead and pass it with that from her.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
I have the motion from Commissioner Oglesby, a second from Commissioner Steve Reeves. All in favor? I guess we got to do this roll call.
Yes, sir.
Okay, unmute your computer there and we'll go down the list. Commissioner Rice,
Aye.
Commissioner Steve Reeves,
Aye.
Commissioner Dacus,
Aye.
Commissioner Farley,
Aye.
Commissioner Ray Seals,
Aye.
and Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
All right, motion passed. It'll be moved forward. All right, next. Somebody make a comment?
I do have a comment. I
Sure.
want the mayor to not forget about the old school building because we need to do something with that. It is falling down. It's beginning to be an eyesore to the town.
I totally agree.
We need to not forget that.
Yeah, if the conversation I had in the last couple of 3 days bears no fruit, I should know that within the next couple of weeks. And if that's the case, then I'll probably bring back that other contract next month to put it in place.
All right,
Mr. Mayor, let me ask you a question. What would be wrong with our considering having an auction on this property?
Probably nothing.
As long as we had Rosser to draw up the contract where we're held harmless for any liability as a result of the asbestos.
Yeah, and the asbestos in the facility, I've got a book that was given to me by the school board, and there was a law passed way back when, basically documented what's in there and how they've mitigated it. So it's not like it's eat up with it. It is in there, but it's identified. So that's not as big a deal as, it's a big deal. Let me back up and say it's a big deal, but it's not as big as it could be.
It's not as many unknowns as it would. In other words, that
Right.
would be available to whoever was looking to buy it, right?
Right, correct. Auction, that's probably an option. And there may be everybody from the church to possibly to City of Somerville to maybe a group that wants to run some sort of nonprofit there. Anyway, there's a possibility. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claude. We'll move on. Item number 3, mental health contract. We looked at this with Health and Welfare last night. Commissioner Steve Reeves.
Mr. Chairman, we took that contract as a renewal of a mental health contract per day, and we passed it at Health and Welfare, so I make a motion that we approve.
All right, motion by Commissioner Steve Reeves. I need a second.
Second.
Commissioner Ben Farley has seconded the motion. Any questions? All right, we'll have a roll call vote on approving this mental health contract. Commissioner Rice,
Aye.
Commissioner Steve Reeves,
Aye.
Commissioner Chuck Dacus,
Aye.
Commissioner Farley,
Aye.
Commissioner Ray Seals,
Aye.
Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
Motion passed. It'll be recommended to the full commission then. Number 4, Sheriff's Employee Handbook Update. Did personnel and criminal justice and public safety, I guess, looked at this? Who would like to address this?
I can sort of give that a summary, Mr. Chairman. What you've got in front of you is the sheriff's plan for his step raises. Remember back during budget, we gave the sheriff 2.5% in addition to cost of living to put toward raising salaries. And he was going to come back with a plan to put that into effect. What you've got in front of you really doesn't require a vote tonight, and it won't require a vote at county commission. It just has to be read into the minutes so it becomes part of the record. But what he is laying out is how he will institute the raises. And in the next couple of months, for this plan to continue, he's going to probably need money each year so that he can keep that sort of same step raises going forward. I think when we talked about it at budget, there was a sense that we would continue to do that, but we didn't have a plan to vote on or to endorse. Over the next couple of months in safety, I think there will probably be a plan puts and maybe a commitment of some point going forward in the next couple of years to honor putting money into it. But what you're looking at tonight is essentially on that section F. Everything else is the same in it. And I don't have exactly which page that is on. Give me just a second.
On F,
Yes, sir.
looks like page 160 and 161.
Well, I see a couple of different breakdowns in different, which section you're in. Let me a second.
Oh, there's more than one F. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It is, my bad.
Here it is on page 160, 160.
Yeah,
Just
that was
pay scale table. And it goes through how that is done. They went over it in both in personnel and safety. Basically, they've set up some levels so that you know when you hire in at, you will be at that level. And then as you move through the your years of service, as long as you get good recommendations on your job performance, then that's you'll move up in the system. And I feel sure that that system is going to require additional funding as you move up, more than just a regular cost of living amount. So that was a reason to have a commitment from the commission. But anyway, the amount of the money for this year is already in the budget to implement this as it is now. So right now there's nothing to do except just information only. And if you've got some questions, Sheriff Riles or Inspector Garcia, excuse me, Inspector Garcia was instrumental in putting this together also.
So mainly information only for us to be studying.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to number 5, criminal justice complex, the master plan. Looks like criminal justice and public safety discussed this. Commissioner Rice.
We did, and we had a presentation from Pat Harcourt of A2H firm, and he has a contract in here, I believe.
Yes. Starts on page 177.
Yes, we recommend approval of the contract, and I move that the budget committee approve it.
Second.
The motion was made by Commissioner Rice and second by Commissioner Steve Reeves. Well, any questions about this first? If not, we'll have a roll call vote. I sat in or listened in to y'all's meeting. It's good discussion. Made a lot of sense when he was explaining what all we'd have to do long before we ever decided to add on. So, and the fees are on page 180. If anybody got any questions about what the charges are, it's something that'll have to be done eventually when we do anything out there. So the groundwork will already be laid, so we'll know what we can and where we can do it. Well, we got to have a roll call. Commissioner Rice.
Aye.
Commissioner Steve Reeves.
Aye.
Commissioner Dacus.
Aye.
Commissioner Farley.
Yes.
Commissioner Ray Seals.
Aye.
And Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
Motion passed. Be recommended to the full commission. All right, 101, County Clerk Reserve request. I guess we got a budget amendment. Let's see, this has not been in a committee. It's page 184. Looks like we got some money restricted for finance. Just gonna be moving that money over to office supplies for $2,958.60. No change to the fund balance.
I move it be approved.
Motion by Commissioner Oglesby to approve it.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Farley. We'll have a roll call vote. Commissioner Rice.
Aye.
Commissioner Steve Reeves.
Aye.
Commissioner Dacus.
Aye.
Commissioner Farley.
Yes.
Commissioner Ray Seals.
Aye.
Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
Budget amendment was approved. Number 7, Sheriff's Office salary line adjustments per pay table. Commissioner Rice, that went through your committee. You like to make any recommendation?
It did. There's a resolution on page 185 and 86. It moves money around to different line items, but there is no change to the fund balance. Our committee recommended approval of this, and I move that the budget committee approve it.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Got a motion by Commissioner Rice. I need a second.
Second.
The second was by
Dacus.
Commissioner Dacus. Any questions? All in favor? Well, again, we got to do roll call. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that. Commissioner Rice,
Aye.
Commissioner Steve Reeves,
Aye.
Commissioner Dacus,
Aye.
Commissioner Farley,
Aye.
Commissioner Ray Seals,
Aye.
Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
Motion passed. Budget amendment will be approved. Last item, 171 ambulance purchase and the wreck replacement. Health and Welfare addressed this budget amendment last night. Commissioner Reeves, you'd like to do the honors?
Yes, sir. We spoke about, we had an ambulance have a wreck, so this is clearing up the insurance money that will come in for it. So I'll make a motion that we approve.
All right, I got a motion to approve this by Commissioner Reeves. Need a second?
I'll second. Rice.
Commissioner Rice. Yes, ma'am. We actually come out pretty good on this. It will hit our fund balance from the capital projects fund, but we had an ambulance that had several 100,000 miles on it, was several years old, so the difference is only about $47,000. So we did really well. So we'll have a roll call vote to approve this. It had actually already been approved to get it. As a matter of fact, it's in service. They told us last night it's already in service. This is just the paperwork to get it in the right line items on the budget. So Commissioner Rice.
Aye.
Commissioner Steve Reeves.
Aye.
Commissioner Dacus.
Aye.
Commissioner Farley.
Aye.
Commissioner Ray Seals.
Aye.
Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
Budget amendment is approved. What else, Mayor?
Nothing. I believe you've done everything. I appreciate it.
Well,
I move with adjourn.
I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all Tuesday night.
Yes, sir.
Get those insurance folks, the employees, get them on the ball and see what they want to do. It looks good. If
Thank
they
you,
like it.
I think they will too.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
All right.